I'm Ashley, 67, sitting on the wraparound porch of my new house in Asheville, North Carolina, watching the morning mist rise from the Blue Ridge Mountains. I can't help but reflect on the incredible journey that has brought me to this peaceful place. It's been 18 months since the events that changed my life forever, and I'm still in awe of how far I've come. My son, Ethan, was once a successful tech entrepreneur, and his wife, Lily, seemed like the perfect match for him. They lived in a luxurious mansion, surrounded by wealth and privilege. But beneath the surface, there was a dark secret that would shatter my world. It all started at Ethan's Christmas party last December. I was standing in the corner of their opulent living room, feeling out of place in my old navy blue dress. I'd just finished an 8-hour shift at the local diner where I worked as a waitress, and before that, I'd spent the morning cleaning houses. At 65, working two jobs was a struggle, but it was the only way I could make ends meet. Ethan approached me, a bit tipsy, and wrapped his arm around me. "Mom," he said, with a tone that seemed almost mocking, "enjoying those $5,000 a month? Living the high life, I hope." The words hit me like a punch in the gut. I went pale and stammered, "Ethan, I'm working two jobs. I haven't received any money from you." His face turned white, and he looked completely confused. "But I've been sending $5,000 to your account every month for the past 3 years. Lily helped me set it all up." At the mention of Lily's name, we both turned to look at her. She was standing near the Christmas tree, a piece of lobster halfway to her mouth. Her face went ashen, and she started choking. It wasn't the food that was choking her, it was the realization that her secret was out. As I watched her struggle, memories of the past came flooding back. I was 30 when my husband, David, died in a car accident. He was only 33, and he left me with a 4-year-old Ethan and a mountain of debt. Those early years were a blur of long hours at multiple jobs, trying to keep a roof over our heads and food on the table. I worked 3 jobs during Ethan's childhood. I cleaned offices before dawn, worked at a factory during the day, and took in sewing at night. I sold my jewelry, skipped meals, and worked on holidays to give Ethan the opportunities he deserved. When he got into a prestigious university with a partial scholarship, I took out a second mortgage on our small house and worked myself to the bone to cover the rest of the expenses. After graduation, Ethan landed a job at a tech startup that eventually made him a millionaire. I was so proud of him, but as time went on, our relationship changed. He met Lily, and she seemed to have a way of making me feel unwelcome. She subtly discouraged Ethan from visiting me, and our phone calls became less and less frequent. I told myself it was normal for sons to grow up and start their own lives, but deep down, I felt a sense of loneliness and abandonment. Little did I know that Lily had been stealing the money Ethan thought he was sending to me and using it to fund her own luxurious lifestyle. After the party, Ethan insisted on driving me home. He was in shock, and he kept apologizing. "Mom, I had no idea." I trusted her completely. 3 days later, he came to my house with a folder full of papers. He'd been investigating, and what he found was even worse than we'd thought. The account he'd been sending money to was in my name, but the address was a mailbox rental downtown. Lily had been intercepting all the statements and spending the money on spa treatments, designer clothes, and vacations with her friends. She'd also been fabricating stories about my medical emergencies and home repairs to get more money from Ethan. But that wasn't all. Ethan's forensic accountant, Ms. Thompson, discovered that Lily had been paying the taxes on my late husband's family property upstate. The state was planning a highway expansion, and the property was in the path of development. It was estimated to be worth between $2 and $1.8 million. Lily had been positioning herself to claim ownership of the property, which rightfully belonged to me. When Lily found out that we knew everything, she wanted to meet and explain. I refused to meet at their house. Instead, we met at Ms. Thompson's office with lawyers present. Lily tried to justify her actions, saying she was trying to protect Ethan from feeling guilty. But I wasn't going to let her manipulate me anymore. I looked her in the eye and said, "Lily, I've thought long and hard about what you've done. You've stolen 3 years of my son's love and concern, and you've tried to steal my husband's legacy. But I'm not going to press criminal charges or sue you for the money. The best revenge is living well without you." I then turned to Ethan and said, "I don't want your money, and I don't want you to leave your wife for me. I want you to make a real choice about who you want to be and what kind of life you want to live. I'm going to sell the property and use the money to live comfortably for the rest of my life." It took Ethan 6 months to leave Lily. He tried to salvage their marriage, but in the end, he realized that it was built on lies. He filed for divorce, and Lily got nothing more than what the law required. Now, I'm living a life I've always dreamed of. I've quit my jobs, bought this beautiful house, and set up a comfortable retirement fund. Ethan and his new girlfriend, Mia, a kind-hearted teacher, visit me regularly. We have real conversations, and I can see the love and respect in his eyes. I've also taken up painting, something I've always wanted to do, but never had the time for. And I've made new friends in this community. My neighbor, Mrs. Harris, is like a sister to me. We share stories, recipes, and watch the sunset together. Looking back, I realized that the betrayal I endured was a blessing in disguise. It taught me the importance of standing up for myself and the power of forgiveness. I've learned that the best revenge isn't about punishing others, but about living a life that makes their betrayal irrelevant. So, to those of you listening to my story, I ask, what would you do if you were in my place? Have you ever been through something similar? Share your thoughts in the comments below.